First up at 4:30, renewed calls for Congress to pass a bill aimed at stopping the spread of the spotted lanternfly. By now, you've probably seen them. The invasive insect has been in Connecticut for about 6 years now. Experts say it's known for destroying both crops and trees. Senator Richard Blumenthal is proposing a new bill called the Spotted Lanternfly Research and Development Act, which would provide federal funding for research and mitigation projects to control and eventually stop the spread of this invasive species.
They lay eggs. They spawn offspring, and that's the threat to Connecticut because they devour grapes as well as hops. They're a threat to winemaking and breweries, and they also devour apples, peaches, and other fruit trees, as well as maple and walnut trees. They devour the sap, and so they pose a clear and present danger to wildlife here in Connecticut. They're more than just a pest. They're a menace. And that's why we need to rid Connecticut of the beginnings of the spotted lanternfly threat.
So what should you do when you see a spotted lanternfly? Your reporter Logan Perrone has the simple answer.
Move the Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
At the Connecticut Agriculture Experimental Station, Dr. Gail Ridge has a collection that might send a creepy, crawly sensation up your spine. Of all the bugs in her lab,
Yeah, very beautiful.
this bug is in the spotlight. It's a spotted lanternfly, an invasive plant pest reappearing in Connecticut and keeping Dr. Ridge busy.
Currently, every other call we have in our insect information office is to do with the spotted lanternfly. It was a realization that we had some work on our hands.
Reports of spotted lanternflies are coming from all corners of Connecticut, though the biggest populations of them are going to be found along the shoreline, and they don't spread by flying. They're actually hoppers who like to hitchhike on things like your car. Up 91 in Newington, officials put the public on notice after 2 saplings were removed because of the pest. Town leaders encourage people to report sightings of the bug and remove trees that they're often found on. Dr. Ridge says the spotted lanternfly population won't begin to shrink until predators start to keep them in check. In the meantime, she says the people of Connecticut are the best line of defense.
If you see a spotted lanternfly, dispatch it.
Sightings are only expected to increase when the now nymphs begin their adult life cycles later this summer. Your reporter in New Haven, Logan Perrone, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.